Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Outraged, infuriated by the intermittent deadly gang feuds, extortion, and the brazenness of criminals, many people living in Spanish Town and in communities on its fringes want the security forces to stage a massive operation in the old capital that, they hope, will put an end to the nightmare of violence to which they have been subjected to for years. The residents share their desire to see the crime monster team for good on an informal survey conducted by reporters last Thursday, just over a week after one or the gangsters turned to each other, killing 3 people and wounding others in a raging gun battle in the town. Shortly after that firefight, the security forces imposed a curfew in sections of Spanish Town, and the following day, the government placed the entire parish of St. Catherine under a state of public emergency. The measure, though widely accepted, has been criticized by some people who insist that the SOE, which has been used in other areas, is worn out. But that view is not generally shared by the residents, with whom reporters spoke and whose identities will not be revealed. A 47-year-old woman who described the violence as out of control said, "The criminals don't have any remorse for nobody. I think the authorities should go for the head or leaders of the gang to quell the feuds. It probably would be something like the Tivoli operation. This epidemic must stop to secure a safer Jamaica for our children." Another woman told reporters that she is devastated by the violence. "I have never seen such a time as now. I think the security forces should go door to door and check for guns, ammunition, and wanted men. I strongly believe they should have a big security operation in the parish where security forces take drastic measures," said the 45-year-old. A 19-year-old man said he wasn't surprised by what is happening as there are too many guns in the hands of criminals. "It is naive to believe that people who are in possession of destructive weapons were never going to use it to their benefit or times of dispute, as we can see today. As scary as it sounds, the criminals have gotten used to the repetitive crime methods that are implemented," he said. "It definitely would take an overhaul of the different justice systems we know today, completely revolutionizing law and removing corruption. Community members are afraid or glorify dons and gang leaders, so there would be minimum community cooperation, as we saw during the Tivoli operation. This is more than a parish issue, as the gangs currently involved stem across different parishes, so to perform such an operation will take more than the resources Jamaica has," he argued. A 22-year-old man said while he was concerned about the possible spillover effects of crime, he doesn't think anything can be done to resolve the problem in the parish. "If gang members do not feel the full brunt of the law, they will continue their reign of terror. I believe an operation may happen, but it may not yield much results," he said. Another female resident said the shootings have had a devastating effect on her family. "We feel like we always have to watch our backs. I am worried about the transport of my children because they are public passengers. I have seen one improvement that I must point out, which is the state of emergency," said the 47-year-old woman. "If it comes to a big security operation to fix this, I think they should do it," she added. A 43-year-old woman described the situation as very depressing. "I am afraid to come home, wondering if I am going to get another call saying, 'Don't come to Spanish Town.'" She called for a return of hanging and suggested that all useful laws that are still holding up in the court should be amended. "These laws benefit the outlaws and not the innocent citizens of Jamaica," she said. "This is just terrible, as a parish to have so many murders occurring within the span of a week," said a 19-year-old man. "It's nerve-wracking to know that a drive-by shooting can happen at any point while a person is in the town trying to get home. Persons shouldn't have to live in fear just because a few individuals decide that they want to commit criminal activities. If conventional crime-fighting measures aren't working, then the government has no choice but to launch a big security operation in the parish," he said. "The problem with that is you can't have checkpoints and patrols then expect the crime to stop. Criminals will go into hiding, but they still have the guns and funding to carry out criminal activities," he added. A 45-year-old woman described the situation as sad, stressful, and disheartening. "Too many idle hands are out there and too many youths with a get-rich-quick mentality. This crime situation is not a good look for the security forces and the country at large. The leaders have relaxed for too long. and watched the situation get out of control, and now they are trying to put a plaster on already bad sore, the woman said. The laws that are created in this country need to be reviewed and enforced. Politicians know the part they play. Drastic measures are always needed where crime is out of control, but I am not sure that the drastic measures will be allowed because there are those in authority who will not want to lose their crowd and support system, so they'll find ways to oppose, she argued. Her views were shaped by a 25-year-old man who said he would support any kind of operation that would add to the SOE. The Spanish Town people are tired of the reactionary policing. If you listen to the Prime Minister's press conference, they are saying how many gangs and criminals running up and down in the place, but it took a triple murder for them to react. We need some very serious operations, he said. Don't wait until students are killed. School leaders in South Central Town want a section of the Cartridge Road to be declared a school zone, with investments in road safety infrastructure, particularly sidewalks for students. Belleair High School Principal Lawrence Rowe and his peer at the Cartridge College, Prim Lewis, said that this appeal over the year for the authorities to address the danger of students walking on the narrow road has fallen on deaf ears. Rowe, whose school also has a population of 790 students, said the only thing that was done years ago was the construction of a pedestrian shelter. We have made representation. I personally wrote to the National Works Agency NWA and the Member of Parliament at the time, Peter Bunting. I wrote to the Mayor, Donovan Mitchell. They came, they looked at the place, and they made representation. The only thing I got out of that was a pedestrian shelter that is at the school gate now, he told reporters. Rose said the situation needs to be addressed to reduce the risk of danger to the students and pedestrians. One of the recommendations that I made was for the entire Cartridge Road stretch, all the way up to the end of Newlands Road, be designated as school zone and rumble strips being placed right across the entrance of Belleair High School coming down the hill so it slows down the vehicles, he said. Lewis agreed with Rowe as she said motorists speed on the main road. The area needs to be declared a school zone because people speed excessively on that road from time to time, and the students crossing the road to come to school, they are really in danger, she said. Councillor Jones Oliphant, People's National Party PNP division, said he has continuously appealed for the situation to be addressed. The road still remains dangerous and it needs to be fixed with a guardrail and a retaining wall needed to be put in a sidewalk. I have been lobbying for that for the past 9 years, he said. An official at the NWA, who asked not to be named, said poor town planning is to be blamed. If anything is to happen now, there would have to be dialogue with landowners about acquisition, and it is going to be a tedious process, he said in reference to the proposed widening of the Cartridge Road. Lewis said that Mandeville lacks basic infrastructure, including sidewalks, and pointed out the disabled people are greatly affected. The Disability Act was passed on February 14, 2022, and based on even that act now, the town itself would be non-compliant in terms of accommodating people with disabilities, she said. Rowe told reporters that up to last Sunday, there was an accident on the main road resulting in the damage of Belleair High's perimeter fence. I am trying to get the persons now to come and repair it, but no one wants to take responsibility, he said. He added that similar incidents have happened in prior years as he reiterated his appeal for the area to be declared a school zone. It is something that I have been lobbying for ever since I came here in 2017. Articles have been written about it already, he said. We're hoping that the authorities and the powers that be will reach out and assist us to widen the road because we don't want a situation where students are killed before we act. We need to be proactive and not reactive to the danger that exists on the road right now, he said. Most of my students walk up to Wesley Road and it is similar situation, said Rowe. St. Elizabeth Police reap success from increased presence in schools. Police officers in Black River, St. Elizabeth have increased their presence in schools in an effort to stem violence among students, with the latest intervention resulting in a 16-year-old boy being charged with illegal possession of ammunition. Head of the St. Elizabeth Police Superintendent Dwight Daly said the teenager was arrested last Thursday after a 9mm cartridge was found in his possession during a security screening. He was about to enter school, and his school bag was searched at the gate and the ammunition found, Daly reported. He added that the student's home was also searched by the police. The teen is subsequent to appeared in the St. Elizabeth Parish Court on June 27. Daly said other offensive weapons and drugs continue to be seized by the police from students. Since the start of the year, it is the first ammunition we found in the possession of a student. We usually find knives, ice picks, scissors, lighter, grabber, ganja cigarette, and other things, he explained. Just 2 weeks ago, 2 BB Coke High School students were injured during a stabbing incident in Junction. A video of the incident, which has since gone viral, shows 2 grade 10 male students in a tussle before wielding what appeared to be knives at each other. One of the students attempted to escape from the other but was stabbed in his lower back, while other students heard explosives. They were charged with unlawful wounding and are to return to court on September 8, following their first court appearance recently. The boys are to meet with a probation officer for mediation. Daly said under the Safe Schools program, 9 high schools are being monitored by the St. Elizabeth Community Safety and Security Branch. Every parish have the Safe School program, with resource officers in these schools to monitor and work with the deans of discipline to ensure that discipline is maintained, he explained. He added that police have also instituted other programs in schools. All of them are towards maintaining discipline and to provide a safe environment for the school community, he said. 2 school-based police youth clubs, PYCs, Daly said, have been launched at Roger Clark High School and Newell High. Normally, youth clubs are launched within communities, but we also launch youth clubs in the school, he said, adding that more PYCs are to be launched across the parish. Daly also said the police have been monitoring public spaces to reduce loitering among students. We patrol the plazas, game shops, transportation centers where students loiter, and we send them home, he said, pointing out that there is a 7 p.m. curfew for students. The police chief said the aim of the various initiatives is to reduce violence among students. Our programs are geared towards preventing those incidents, but if they happen, we investigate. We recommend child diversion system to them and so not to get them into the justice system. We want to keep our children out of the court as much as possible, but the parties involved will have to agree to the part of the child diversion system, said Daly. If they don't agree, then we send the matter straight to court, and even if they go to court, the courts can still recommend it to the child diversion system, he added. Additionally, the police have also been implementing programs to reduce gang activity in schools. Boys have a way to group up, and they will take away lunch money from other students, fight them or bully them, he said. As such, the police have sought to use the life experience of an ex-convict who has changed his life to encourage students to stay away from the violence. We take that person into the schools to talk to the boys as well and try to dissuade them from getting involved in gangs, so that is another proactive measure that we employed, he said. Daly said, with the help of the community and business leaders, students are enrolled in the behavior modification program. Summer is coming up, and it is usually held between August and July each year. We engage the students in lectures and other programs to help change their behavior and assist them in dealing with conflicts, he said. Remove the aggression from the children. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.